was a guy that like didn't like that I smelled flowers, and I'm like, I literally go to college, work my ass off, and sometimes I smell some flowers. Like, get over yourself.
If you need,
Get the fuck over yourself. Like, I work so hard every day, and I'm so independent, and sometimes I smell flowers.
no, she smells flowers.
Well, I think you legit. I was like,
Come
damn.
on, guys.
Yo, I was just saying it downstairs
You
too. I know.
just say it downstairs.
Code has
Some
been
people don't care
cracked.
about what you're saying. You guys don't watch what you say. And then your friend is.
Code, yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry
I
about
was deciphering.
What's your biggest turn off? Like, you see, not like personality, but like you see the girl, and you're like, ooh, she's not my type.
aggression.
I love her.
Oh,
Aggression, like, like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh no. Well, that'd be okay with. No, she's like
no, I
super
took
like.
Brent, like confrontation. Like she's super confrontational.
Yeah.
I was telling you that before.
Give an example.
There's 7 billion people in the world.
All right, so here's one example.
Exactly.
And this girl I was talking to like for like
Yeah,
we
you know
went
what
on
I mean?
we went on
Yeah.
a few dates, and one of the dates was I took her to a snowmobiling place. We went on a snowmobile tour like through the woods and everything,
That is fun.
and we ended up showing up like we were like 15 minutes late because it was in another state, so it took a second to get there. And so we got there like 15 minutes late, and we should have been on time because we had to watch like instructional video and everything. Of course, we just should have been on time because he told us to be on time. So he was right, and he was upset that we weren't there on time. And he had all the right to be upset because we were late. And so when we got there, he was given a little toot, and I was like, "Man, I'm really sorry. We came from Connecticut. Like, it was a really far drive. We apologize. You know, I was trying to make up for it." And then she came out like, oh my, dropping the toot. Like, I was so uncomfortable. She came out like, well, maybe we should just start the video, and maybe you should stop talking. I was like,
No.
I shut the fuck up. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm not. And then, and then she kept going. And then we sat down to watch the video, right? And everybody's sitting and watching the video, and there was not a seat. Like, there was no double seats next to each other. So I was like, all right, I'll sit here, you sit there. And so I sat down, and she just like stayed standing next to me. She wouldn't like go sit over there. And the guy's like, it was like, what, you guys can't separate or something like that? Like, he was being snotty because she was giving him attitude. And then he's like, actually, we can't. She was like, actually, we came here together, so no, we can't separate. And I was like,
Oh my God. Like, breathe.
That's so
oh my God, it was embarrassing.
so embarrassing.
Like, he was giving us attitude. He had all the right to. We were late.
Yeah.
Right.
Then she was dropping it and associated with me, and I was clearly so embarrassed. And then that was our last date.
That was?
That was our last date. That was our.
Yeah, that's the only.
When
That was
people
the last
are
date.
mean to servers, too.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
a huge
fuck with
red
that.
flag.
That.
Like, if I...
I'll put you in my place
Yeah.
real quick.
I don't care if my
No.
order's
Right.
completely wrong. I do
Good
not
job
complain.
today.
Like, you can
guys might hire
be
you.
nice.
Right.
Yeah, it depends.
But I'll be the nicest person.
Whoa, Tiff. Whoa.
Yeah, I just feel like it's not hard to be
Oh.
polite about it.
So easy to be
There's
polite.
just
You
no
get so much
reason.
better
No.
When
I was-
people are rude to servers, like, what is taking so long? This, I'm like, don't, I'm done. I can't.
no.
Somebody talk to them.
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
because I've been in the
Like,
industry,
be
but...
social.
But yeah, that was our last date. I was like,
All right, X has a
Okay,
question.
X question, please.
I told her that it wasn't gonna. I didn't completely ghost her, no. But I slowly stopped talking to her. Definitely.
I was like,
She was
wait,
from.
I-
It was long distance. She was from Boston, Connecticut. So I was like the distance, and then this was right before COVID too. So COVID started,
Boy.
and then the distance, and I was like, we can't really travel too much. So I didn't really blame it on that, but then I did bring it up.
Fear of that. Oh, you did?
I did bring it
They
up,
were
yeah.
super late.
What'd you say?
I was like, I was like, remember when we went snowmobiling?
And he
She's
said,
like, yeah,
that's
the
what
last day we went on.
saying turn
Like,
off.
yeah, well, like, it kind of like made me uncomfortable when you
I
like
hate it when people
just
are
went off
late
like that.
to things
She's like,
because
oh, but like he was giving us an attitude. I was like,
I'm
yeah,
someone
no,
who
I understand,
just am a
understand.
5
I was like, I
minute
just let her be
person.
right, but I was like, I'm not really interested in it.
Exactly.
Some guys don't care about
Exactly.
that.
If
Like,
we
she's
make
like,
a reservation, if we make plans,
I know.
No, but she had other incidences where she went off. Like, and that was not the only time.
It'd be
So it was
that.
like, that wasn't the first strike. That was like, okay, I've seen this side of her before. And then that one was like a big blow up, and I was like, ooh. It was very uncomfortable to be a part of.
What is a turn on for you?
not best first date. Best date.
No. But it might take me a while to.
It's gonna take me a while.
Thank
Honestly, like, that's so important to me.
No, like first impression.
Best
kind of.
First impression?
Well,
yeah, if
Or
you
best
like,
date, period.
One of my best
if we can like catch
dates
the
was
vibe.
If someone can hold a
New York,
conversation,
and
that's a good one, too.
we went out
Well,
to
we're talking
a fun restaurant, and it was like really good food, and we went to a vegan place, which was very thoughtful because he wasn't vegan.
Make that
but-
face
so
after.
that's very nice.
He goes, it's body all
And
day.
it was
all day.
thoughtful. He
It
didn't
is.
just, like,
Long
The
legs.
thing is, it's body all day.
and then we walked
That's what he did.
around New York, and we
So you
kissed
understand?
underneath
Look at you.
the Washington Square arch, which was very picturesque, and it felt very cute. And we
Share the well.
yeah, our first kiss, and then we like kissed
Wait,
on
they're
the
saying
park
they-
bench, and it was like when I was pretty new in New York, and so it was just like a New York moment, like a New York date, like iconic.
They show
This was the first date? Or?
Yeah, this was the first date.
One and only?
No, and then we dated for a couple months and broke it off.
My best first date.
Or a
It
best
wasn't
date.
a first date.
This was the first date.
Okay.
So she was from Boston. As Brent knows, Boston women.
Yeah.
She was from Boston.
Cover.
She was from Boston.
Bountiful.
Boston, yeah. So
Beautiful.
I bought tickets to. I was like, I didn't even know if she was into baseball or not, but she said she was. So I bought 2 tickets to a Red Sox game.
Fun.
And so bought tickets to a Red Sox game, and like Red Sox games, I mean baseball games in general take a long time.
Oh my God.
So like
I can't do it.
that's already a long date.
I hated it.
So we met at like the train station.
Oh, I have a funny
We
story
met at the
for
train
y'all.
station.
Don't forget.
We drove in, or not drove in, took the train in,
Didn't we, like,
and we were getting to know each other there. Because we were talking obviously a little bit before that, but catching up there. And then once we went to the game, like, you know, it's not like a movie, like you could talk to it. And the reason why this date was so like incredible was because it is a long, baseball games are super long, like hours. And we had for 9 innings, continuous conversation, nonstop. It was so good. Like we were like by the end of the day we were like making fun of the people next. So, like it was like inside jokes. Like
Y'all were vibing.
yeah,
well.
it was a really good. And then after that, like we were like, okay, we could go home, but you know we're like, oh no, it's going good, so we didn't. And so on the way home, we were talking so much on the train that we completely missed our stop. We were like had to get like we completely missed our stop, and then we ended up yeah we completely missed our stop. And we ended up like, we're like, well, shit, we got to get off and figure this out. So we got off, and we ended up at a park. And we're like, well, fuck it. Now we're at the park. Let's go walk around the park. So we're walking around the park, and I haven't, like, made a move yet. Because we were just, it was first
You were
date.
chatting.
Yeah, we're just talking. I had an opportunity, but I was like, oh, I'm not going to do it at Fenway. Right.
Keep going.
Right, so we're
Like a
walking.
movie we're listening to.
So we're walking through the park. We're walking in the park, and we do, like, a little coffee thing. Yep, we do a little coffee thing. Get the coffee, and it was a freaking beautiful day. So we're walking around. We get the coffee, walking around the park, enjoying it. We sit down on a bench, and like the sun's starting to set and shit like that. I'm serious. This is movie stuff. Sun's starting to set,
Did
and then
the
I was
Red
like,
Sox win?
all right, the Red Sox.
You don't know.
The Red Sox won.
Okay, we love that.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, I gotta start. You know, I gotta make the move.
Okay.
So
Boy, I will beat
sun is setting. The park's clearing out, and now the like lights are turning on and shit like that. And then I just like made my move. We kissed. That was our first kiss.
Was it good?
It was very good.
Aw.
And then
Gotta ask that.
You dog.
I love
Very-
a kisser.
very very good.
If I don't like kissing you, we got a problem.
There was a guy that I
Bad
kissed and he was like
kisser.
a lizard. He was like,
Oh,
I once dated a guy who opened his
so
mouth
mad.
so far.
I'm mad at him too.
and like
I'm mad at him
sloppy.
too.
I
Yeah,
had that
like, why
too where
is it-
they're
why is it on my
sloppy
chin?
with it.
Why
Or
you
if they
so
just
low?
open their mouth and go,
on my chin.
Yeah.
what's that?
Who are y'all kissing?
Girl.
Not good.
Sarah Beth, your face.
What did you do?
Sarah Beth, you look so disgusting.
I just just got like this like memory I had
PTSD.
repressed.
Do
And
it.
in college when I dated this guy, he also like I went on a date with him and we did make out, but he would open his mouth really big and it was already kind of bad. And then one day we were making out and he was like, I don't want to use tongue anymore. And I was like, the tongue is the only thing you had.
What do you mean you don't want to use tongue anymore?
Damn.
He declared he didn't want to use tongue.
Yeah, he was like,
Did you actually
He was
say
like,
that?
I'm over it.
I don't remember what I said, but
that's
that
what you
was
were
definitely the end of it. Yeah.
I hate if I kiss somebody and like my mouth's all wet. I'm like,
Oh,
my
it's
lips
all
are big as hell.
sloppy.
How did you get your lips around my mouth? Like,
Yeah, what are you doing?
what was you?
I like to be engulfed in lips.
I like when your lips are directly on my lips. Like I want to feel them. Like
No, I want to be engulfed.
You want to be like,
I love huge lips.
You want like your face.
So that was my good
I want to
first
be
date.
good
suffocated.
first date.
Oh,
Did you guys go on
God.
another date? How long did you
We
guys
did
talk?
have another date, but after we kissed, she was like, I was waiting for you to do that since Fenway. I was like,
damn.
damn,
Way.
okay.
He like she
know.
wanted to get
Because the
kissed.
Fenway,
She
the
wanted to
Fenway,
get kissed on the train.
I think she wanted me to do it at Fenway.
What'd you do after you kissed?
That would've been romantic.
Yeah, but he
Yeah, I know.
Wait,
What
what
happened?
happened? Though?
What happened
Yeah,
after
but
the
it was
kiss?
like- it was building.
Wait, why did it end?
What happened
It was
after the
building
kiss,
because, like,
Kristen?
while we're
I like the build up.
What
happened
after the kiss?
I like the build up.
Hold on.
I like when I'm waiting on him to kiss me.
What
and he
happened?
hasn't kissed me
Christian,
yet, and I'm like,
Christian.
oh,
How'd the movie end?
Christian, get to the pounding.
It was like over a year ago.
Get to the pounding.
So there was all this build-up. There was all this build-up because we were holding hands, walking through the park, and then I finally made the move, and it was like, oh my god.
He's just talking now.
What happened after the kiss? Or like, why didn't we go?
Yes,
We did
why
go on
didn't
another
we-
date.
No,
we did go out on another date,
okay.
Have the
but
sex.
it was completely different. No.
Oh.
It was completely different.
God.
It was like a completely different person.
Oh,
That's
gross.
wild.
Yeah.
Yuck.
The next,
Well,
the
she
next.
had other
I'm pissed that you
dudes,
told me the
that's
first story.
why.
No, because the
'Cause now I hate her.
first date was like super sweet. We were one-on-one, just
She
let's
went
go
out
on
on
a
a
date.
date in between.
The
y'all.
second date was like, it was like 2 days later.
Oh.
2 days later, it wasn't a planned thing because like 2 days later, I was going to be in the area again, up in Boston.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I was gonna burp up in Boston. Or I guess
That's about check.
Yes,
wait,
up in
for
Boston.
another
Cool, right?
kiss? That's
No,
not cute.
2
2
days.
days. 2 days. So I'm coming up in Boston. I'm coming back to Boston, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going out with my friends."
Told you.
Yeah, no, she's like, "I'm going out with my friends."
You should
I was like,
meet somebody else, right?
That
I
was
was
a
like,
lie.
I was like, no, don't worry about it. I'll just go home then. But she's like, no, just come out with my friends. It was just her and her girlfriends. There was no guys. But it was just
Either hit her or
I
no,
don't
it was
trust
just her.
Once you
I don't
see
trust
I know I'm getting distracted.
All right,
Sorry.
go.
Okay.
It was just her and her girlfriends.
Yeah, but I don't trust
But once I found out that she was going out with friends, I was like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll just go home. We'll hang out another time. And she was very persistent, like, no,
'Cause she
come
wanted to show
through,
you
come
off.
through.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was like, listen, I'm just be honest. If I come through and like you spend the whole time with your girls,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be pissed because I said
Yeah.
Go home.
because I knew something was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so I come through and it's just boom, didn't even like we saw each other once and then she's completely ditched me.
annoying.
And I was like,
Damn.
all right, fuck that.
Yep. I don't
So-
like her.
So then after that I went home and then like she was younger than me, so this was when I was
Screw you, girl.
This is when
Who
I was-
played Christian.
21 and she was
Yeah. That was
20.
agreement. That was an agreement.
She was 20, but then
Second.
within a year after our first date, she was engaged.
I'm telling you,
At
she
20
had somebody else. That's what I
Yeah.
said. I don't trust
You
her.
It
said
was
a year
crazy.
after? A
A
year
year
after?
so she's 21 and engaged.
Yeah.
And I was like, what
She
the
might have
hell?
met somebody.
Nah,
Yeah,
she
she could have.
met
She was
somebody in
on the way.
between them
In
2
2
days.
days.
She met somebody that
I'm sorry,
met
Chris.
somebody
Yeah.
when they went out there.
And
So
then
was
that's,
she the one who got away?
No.
Okay.
It was one day. I mean, yes, it was a very good date,
It
but
was your best
You always have that.
it was
date.
my best date so
You
far.
always have Fenway.
I was at Fenway. I know. I have
Should
a.
have done it.
I also have
It would have changed.
a moonlight date that was on a cruise ship. That one was really
That's
good.
cool. Was it like you met at the teen club?
I feel like I have no.
No. I was
so, like-
older, but we were sneaking
Damn.
into
I got
like,
one. I got one story.
we were
You're, like,
sneaking into
16.
restricted section.